Welcome to week 10 of the Street Parking Vault, and this week's workout is sponsored by our awesome partner, Bubs. Our first shout out for the week is gonna go out to our awesome member, Nicole Lewis, all the way out from West Virginia, a nurse. So once again, thank you for doing what you do. We've been seeing you get after this year's Street Parking Vault, and we look forward to seeing you tackle it next week. We do have to say how awesome it is that your daughter, Elizabeth, has been crushing it as well. What a cool sight to see. Your daughter crushing it with little pet chickens running all over the place. And those push presses are looking super solid, so shout out to your daughter as well. Keep it up, both of you. Our next shout out is gonna go out to our awesome member, Katie W. Now for starters, you're a kindergarten teacher, so I can't even imagine the patience that comes with something like that. So the fact that you're staying very consistent through the vault is very impressive, so well done. You've been coming off of a foot injury at the end of 2023, so we're super pumped to see you moving still. Now I've also been informed that your daughter goes to school out here in the area, so if you are visiting through one of the vault weeks, stop by the Street Parking HQ, come get a vault workout with us. Our next shout out is gonna go out to our awesome member, Kevin Mooney. My brother, we see you. We see you getting after it, knocking out team workouts virtually with other members. Super cool, staying super consistent. And the fact that you're still knocking out your workouts in hotel gyms, that is what shows us how consistent you truly are being. So we're super pumped to have you part of this community. Keep it up, my brother. We see you. And our gym shout out for the week is gonna go out to Thrive Strength and Training. As I've stumbled upon your page, seeing how all your members have been getting after the vault, how you guys are customizing all the different age ranges of your clients. It's just super cool to see something like that being done out there in this community. So way to get after it with this year's vault. Super pumped to have you for this journey.
All right, this is Matt Lamberti. I've been a street parking member for I think 5.5 years now. This is my gym, my wife's gym, our family's gym. This is where we've done every single vault workout that's ever been released. One workout a week was that one day, that one workout I knew when I showed up, I was going to push myself a little bit harder. It takes a lot to be accountable, to make sure that you always show up every week and that you're getting that check mark next to that workout. I mean, I remember back to when we were submitting the Google Forms. Yeah, just making this video reminds me of all the fun times that my wife and I had a little bit of competitiveness doing these vault workouts, but it was that one workout that was always, a little bit extra fun. No matter what was going on in life, I showed up. It's a great sense of accomplishment completing all 25 vault workouts every year for me.
The Street Parking Vault is a one workout per week for 25 weeks series with the goal to help street parking members build consistency.
You can do any version of the workout.
Customize these movements and choose a version that fits your ability.
Each week, log your workout before the time is up.
Your scores and weights don't matter.
You just can't miss.
I really feel it's my time, think it's my...
Welcome to week 10 of the 2024 Street Parking Vault. This week we are taking on Jolly Roger. Your program B workout of the day is a 6-minute AMRAP, as many rounds or reps as possible. You're gonna do 8 pull-ups, 10 weighted squats, 12 push-up plus taps. You're gonna rest 4 minutes after part 1. Then part 2 is repeat your score from part 1 for time. Your score for this workout is your round in reps for part 1 and the total time it takes you to complete part 2. Your goal for this workout is anywhere between 3 to 5 rounds for part 1 and anywhere between 5.5 and 6.5 minutes for part 2. Your shift workout today is going to be part 1, you're going to do a 6-minute AMRAP, as many rounds or reps as possible. You're going to do 7 goblet squats, 10 inverted rows, 7 push-up plus taps. Then you'll rest 2 minutes after part 1, and then you'll do part 2, which is another 6-minute AMRAP of 7 goblet squats, 10 inverted rows, and 7 push-up plus taps. Your score for this workout is total number of completed rounds and any reps. And your goal for this workout is on both parts to get anywhere between 3 and 5 rounds.
Welcome to week 10 of the Street Parking Vault Kids. Today's workout, we are tackling Jolly Roger, which is a 6-minute AMRAP of 6 goblet squats, followed by 6 jumping pull-ups, 6 alternating plank shoulder taps, 6 push-ups, and 6 broad jumps. Your goal for this workout is going to be on the push-ups. For the push-ups, we want you to focus on having a straight body and not a saggy one like a little worm.
Let me tell you how it doesn't work.
You don't just tap it and then release the water. I haven't eaten lunch, so what's up with some, I could be powered by ACV gummies. Did you bring some?
Was I supposed to bring gummies?
You weren't supposed to, I was just curious if you had some.
I didn't bring any gummies. There's gotta be some gummies around here somewhere.
I'm about to get into salvage real quick. I don't recommend anybody to start doing this though, okay? I don't even know what I'm gonna find in this file cabinet. Now I know he's hiding the good stuff. I don't even know what's going on at home, but I've never seen this kind of cream being worn by anybody in the office. I could have sworn Sabi used to have some of them. Today's workout powered by ACV gummies, because I haven't had lunch. But who needs lunch when you got... How many are you supposed to take? 2? Up it up to 4. Today's gonna be a full day powered by Bubs. Cool. I want to take a moment to shout out Benny, because Benny preached the gospels of street parking.
So when I was first introduced to Fitness Freedom, it was going to Aromas with Dave Castro, the birthplace of CrossFit, to celebrate all things street parking. And I always thought that Fitness Freedom meant we have the freedom to express our fitness. I never once thought of the expression of freedom in fitness to be like, hey, choose your own weight, choose your own adventure. Go lighter if you want to, and maybe go heavier. So I've been completely, my mind is blown right now. I'm completely rewiring my thinking of what Fitness Freedom means to me.
All right, we're here getting ready to tackle week 10 of the Vault Jolly Roger. So we have a guest here in town this week, Sean over from Bubs. So it's awesome to have him participate in this year's Vault. He will be doing program B. Actually, sorry, he'll be doing program A, the dumbbell version. I will be doing program B, barbell version. Do you have any thoughts?
I think, based on the coupling of work between pull-up and having to hold on to those things and then doing push-ups with shoulder taps, I think these are going to be speaking to us up, like loud.
Oh man, but hey, he's got electrolytes ready for us at post-workout, so we're good to go.
We do, we got those.
There we go. All right, here we go, let's get into it.
All right, you guys, it is week 10 of the 2024 Street Parking Vault, and we are doing the Jolly Roger. The Jolly Roger is an infamous pirate captain with a bad temper and a thirst for power. He led an army of undead skeletons that blindly followed him wherever he commanded. Well, that just sounds fun, doesn't it? We've got 2 parts in this workout. We've got part 1 is a 6-minute AMRAP, that's as many rounds and reps as possible in 6 minutes, of 8 kipping pull-ups, 10 front squats, pick your equipment, and 12 push-up plus taps. That's a push-up plus tap one shoulder, tap the other shoulder. You're gonna do that as many times as you can for 6 minutes, and then you get a full 4 minutes of rest. So you're gonna rest till the clock hits 10 minutes, at which point part 2 will start, and you're gonna do exactly what you got from part 1. So let's say during part 1 you get 4 rounds plus 3 pull-ups. So part 2, when the clock hits 10 minutes, you will do 4 rounds plus 3 pull-ups as fast as you can, with the goal of doing it even faster than 6 minutes potentially. Shouldn't be much longer than 6 minutes, so it's gonna push you to do the same amount of work in the same amount of time or even less time on the second time through. So it's a mind game for sure. It's a very popular thing that we have done in the vault, a way that the workout has been designed in the vault. We do it sometimes out of the vault too, obviously, but we typically see at least one of these in the vault each year because it's just a very big mental challenge. So with us today, we've got Sean from one of our partners or one of our brands that we love to support in the street parking community, Bubs Naturals. And he came in town just to do this with Julian and to show you guys that the people over there at Bubs are a part of our community. Bubs, of course, my two favorite products from Bubs. They have other products, but my two favorite products from Bubs are the MCT oil. That is just something, it's like a powder. They've made the MCT oil into a powder, which makes it honestly way less messy and easier to use. You can mix it in your coffee. A lot of our members will use it as like a creamer for their coffee when we're trying to take some of the things out of our diet we might have that are sugary and all of that stuff. So that's one of my favorites. And then I throw their collagen into my protein shake every day too. So those are my two favorite Bubs products. We're already almost 3 minutes in and I'm just rambling about all sorts of things. But let's talk about this workout. So we've got 8 pull-ups, 10 front squats. Julian's using 105, which is a weight that's in between the suggested weight and the extra challenge listed weight. So again, just another example of you don't have to choose one or the other. You don't have to choose either of those. You can go lighter than suggested. You can go heavier than extra challenge if you need to. In between, whatever's gonna put you in the goal time or goal rounds for this workout, which for this workout in particular is 3 rounds, 3 to 5 rounds. So we want you somewhere in 3 to 5 rounds. Now I will say, and I talked to Julian right before recording this, and I just know from looking at it, that for most of us, this is going to end up being a push-up workout. 12 push-up plus taps. It's going to end up getting broken up. Julian's very strong at push-ups, and you see that he already was breaking those push-up taps 3 minutes into this workout. So we're looking at you guys to be able to finish around roughly every 90 seconds or so. So as you're going, just keep that in mind. Sean went with the, I think, 35-pound dumbbells. I'm sure he told you guys before this and I didn't watch it and I wasn't paying attention. But he also chose a weight that he felt like you probably want to choose a weight that you're never going to have to break the squats. Now, not all of us are always going to be able to do 8 kipping pull-ups. And of course, a lot of people are going to choose to go with a customization for the pull-up, whether that's an inverted row or a jumping pull-up or a banded pull-up. Even a strict pull-up, there's always a strict pull-up option for these, 4 to 6 reps if you want to do strict pull-ups. But a lot of us are probably going to end up having to break up those pull-ups even maybe once as we get into later rounds. Maybe not too much since it's only 6 minutes. These guys have only got 1 minute left. Now when you see 6 minutes on the clock, that's pretty short. It's not 2 minutes short or 3 minutes short, but it's pretty short. We don't want you to be taking a lot of breaks. We don't want a cumulative 2 of those 6 minutes to be you resting. So when it comes to all of these movements, make sure that you choose a version of the movement that allows you to keep moving. Not that it's easy and that the breaks are minimal, probably only breaking really maybe once in the pull-ups and once or twice in the push-up plus taps. So options for the push-up plus taps is, well, I should mention Sean holding the dumbbells. If I were you guys, as I'm watching him, try to get the dumbbells more on your shoulder. He's resting one head on his shoulder a little bit, but try to get those elbows up high. Try to get the dumbbells almost even behind you if you can. These guys have only got 5 seconds left, and then I'll go back to what I was saying about the push-ups once we check in with them and see how they did in this first 6 minutes.
That hits. That hits. Those push-ups. Those push-ups will whack you. Those got rocked.
Let's try something new. I'm gonna give my tips during this. Wow.
I'm laughing because Julian now has my cough.
All right.
Part one tips.
I'm gonna start burping out those ACVs. All right, so part one tips. The push-ups are gonna be the make or break. They're gonna slow you down. Don't be afraid to push, to go big sets on the pull-ups, because it's only 8, and by the time you come back around to it, you're gonna have many breaks in between the push-ups, where it's gonna slow your heart rate down. It's the muscle fatigue that sets in real quick. After like round 2, I mean, the pump was real. So for the front squats, just hold on. No need to break that up into multiple sets. The breaks are all gonna be in the push-ups. Break those up into sets of 4 and just keep moving. And keeping that flow will allow you to keep going, you know, through the pull-ups unbroken or in as few sets as possible, unbroken front squats. Just maintain good proper form. Don't pike those hips up super high on those push-ups either. Midline, nice and tight midline. Really shift, make contact with the shoulders. Break after every like set of 4 or something like that, even 6s. So that's it.
How'd you break it up? So, first we just gotta really like the fact that we got Julian to break a sweat. Actually makes me feel good that he actually worked really hard on that one. But, so unbroken on the pull-ups, great way to start. Just get them done. Same thing with your front squats, because the push-ups are gonna crush your soul. So, try and get all 10, just go even tempo pace. Don't let the heart rate spike out. When you go into your push-ups, bite-sized chunks. I screwed up, I did all 12 the first set. I should have gone 4, 4, and 4. Small 10, 15 second rest. Instead, I crashed. Couldn't get through my 4th round. So, lessons learned from failure. Go unbroken, easy tempo, break up those push-ups, they're rotten. So the nice thing is, I get to do less reps with these things.
True. So we'll see how this plays out. So I got 4 plus 8 on that one. You got 3 plus.
Till I was 2 reps in on the push-ups.
Okay, so then 8, 18, 20. You got 3 plus 20 on that one. So let's see how we are able to finish this second part and how close we are to each other. Just try to stick within that 6-minute range, okay?
Don't be afraid to go to push-up, knee push-up plus taps, elevated push-up plus taps, if you need to. Now, I will say that whatever you choose on part 1, I want you to stick with on part 2. So if you go on your toes all of part 1, even if you only barely completed 3 rounds, stick with that and do that again on part 2. Don't customize after part 1 is what I'm trying to say to you here, okay? Because the whole test is trying to test the exact same work and see how quickly you can do it on the second part. So we are now in part 2. We did a 6-minute AMRAP, we rested 4 minutes, and now the second part is they're gonna complete the exact same amount of work they did in part 1, whatever their score was, for time. So Sean needs to do 3 rounds, plus the 8 pull-ups, plus the 10 squats, and 2 push-ups, exactly, because that's what he got in part 1. He's gonna do it as fast as he can here on part 2. Julian did 4 total rounds, plus 8 pull-ups, so he's gotta do exactly that amount of work here in part 2, as quickly as possible. So now, just because I want you to do the same amount of work, you're gonna repeat that score and don't alter or don't customize the movements and how you're doing them. That doesn't mean you need to break them up the same way. So you can try to be a little bit smarter, maybe like do what Sean is doing and break up the push-up plus taps earlier. Since he learned his lesson in part 1, he's like, you know what, when I do it the second time through, I'm gonna take breaks from the very beginning on the push-ups so that I don't die toward the end of that 3rd round. Now the goal on part 2 is to do that work in 5 minutes and 30 seconds to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you, talk about what you learn if you go outside of that window. If you come back on part 2 and you're able to do that same amount of work way faster, like a minute faster, that tells me that you completely sandbagged the first part. You held back because you were able to, under fatigue, come back and do it that much faster. Now, if you go over 6.5 minutes, that's not as bad, I guess, and neither of them are bad, but it's not. But what it tells me is that maybe you kind of checked out and you couldn't recover. Even with that 4-minute window, you couldn't recover, or you didn't push on the second part. Something is off. You should be able to get in that 5:30 to 6:30 window without too much deviation outside of that. So go as hard as you can on the first part, okay? Know that you get 4 minutes of rest, and then go as hard as you can on the second part. Again, if you've learned some lessons for the second part and you break things up differently, yada, yada, that's fine. But make sure that you're pushing that intensity on both sections. These guys are about 3 minutes in to part 2. Again, Sean is going to 3 rounds plus 20 reps, and Julian's going to 4 rounds plus 8 reps. Now, I wanted to mention too something that, they both talked about the push-up plus taps. And it is very much, a lot of us, anytime we see push-ups, push-up pull across, push-up plus taps in a workout, we're like, oh man, why are push-ups so freaking hard? I will say though that it's not just the push-up plus taps in this workout that do that to your shoulders. It is a combination of the pull-up and the front squat and the push-up plus taps. The holding the front rack position, regardless of whether you're going sandbag, dumbbell, or barbell, is a shoulder fatiguing and a midline, a core fatiguing movement. The pull-ups also, using your upper body, especially if you're doing pull-ups like Sean is doing back there with the push away, the regular kip, it's a very upper body, shoulder fatiguing movement. And so when you get to the push-ups, your shoulders are already fatigued from the pull-ups and from holding that front rack position. Your midline's already fatigued from both of those movements. And the push-ups are where you're gonna see that breakdown. It's the movement that has the highest number of reps. And it's just a smaller muscle group that you get to use to perform that movement. We're not looking for a kipping push-up here, okay? So we're about 4 minutes in. We shouldn't see either of them finishing for at least 1 more minute, but we'll see. I'm assuming this is Julian's 4th round that he's starting right now. And Sean is now finishing up his 3rd round. So Julian is looking to finish this round and I think do his 8 pull-ups, unless I'm off by a whole round. It's hard to talk and count at the same time, okay, you guys? Especially count 2 different people when the camera angle changes and everything. So now I will say that there's also nothing wrong with dropping this number. Oh, why don't I tell you what shift is really quick before I tell you to drop your push-up number. Shift has a similar format. It's a 6-minute AMRAP of 7 goblet squats, 10 inverted rows, and 7 push-up plus taps. Then you're gonna rest 2 minutes and do that same thing again. So you're not gonna repeat your score in shift. It's 2 6-minute AMRAPs, but the push-up plus taps number is lower. So maybe you could go with that format if you know that 12 push-up taps. You can always mix and match too. Like I wanna do the numbers from shift with the format from A, B, and C. Don't be afraid to play around with that. We encourage that type of behavior here at Street Parking. And Julian finishes right at 6 minutes again. So push to the max both times, basically got exactly the same score. Sean's just gotta finish these squats and do 2 push-up plus taps and then he will be done. And guys, if you're watching while we've got the comments going on the live, everybody say thank you for coming to Sean from Bubs for visiting us. I hope you guys have fun with this one. It seems simple, it seems short, but obviously it's just another fun workout for the 2024 Vault.
I finished at the 6-minute mark. You want to choose a weight on the squats where you can just pick it up and go. So practice that, like, trust me, going on the lighter side. So that way you don't get taxed too heavily going into push-ups. I broke up sets of 4 from the get-go on this round, and that felt good. It allowed me to stay consistent, and again, the pull-ups, it just feels like a distraction. The front squats, you know, you have to relax, so the weight chosen there is super important. Break up the push-ups, and you'll be able to move through this workout efficiently without getting stuck at one place. That's my tip. Go lighter than you think on the front squats. How did that feel?
Let's get my breath back here. So, Julian laid the strategy out perfectly. I'm a big dumb animal, I didn't listen. I wanted to catch up. So I tried doing 6 and 6 on the push-up taps. And it worked for 1 round. And then the wheels fell off. He's spot on, man. Pull-ups, hit your 8. Squats, choose your weight wisely, but get all 10. Save some mojo for that push-up tap. So I ended up going 4-4-4, 4-3-3-2, and maybe even a 4, couple of 2s in there. Nice. But you just gotta keep moving. Don't regulate your rest. Clock's working against you, so just 10-second rest, get back to work, and survive.